What's up, y'all? I do not know how I did this last time with no glasses. Can't see shit. Anyway, I wanted to do a quick video. Um, just kind of talking about some things I've recognized by watching other people's careers. Um, Today, I'm trying to do something themed. Unintentionally, this video came about. I went and I got some Jamaican food yesterday, but they have an international store connected, and I had to get some West Indian snacks. I love the snacks, man. Like, it's part of my culture. I got to. So I'm gonna show y'all what I got. I'm gonna pose for the thumbnail, and then I'm gonna get into this video. Um, I like to do random stuff, but also pair it with something to do with music, so people aren't like, well, what is the point of your page? So today I'm gonna be doing West Indian snacks and also talking about Rihanna's career. If you don't know, she is a Barbadian artist, fashion designer, model, uh, actress. What am I forgetting? Oh yeah, Avon lady. Son, I play. Nah, she's a billionaire businesswoman that came from Barbados. A very beautiful, beautiful island. Thank you to my people from being from there. But yo, real spill. I've I've been a fan of hers since I was a kid. And just really been able to study the things that she's done. And I've watched a lot of other artists do it too, but I think something can be said for her career. So I'm kind of breaking everything down in terms of like how to build your brand, and I'm taking those too. So I'm kind of trying to get out of my shy girl shell and get used to doing the things that she did in my own way. So we're gonna talk about how to build a brand of authenticity, marketing, um, and being consistent. These are a lot of things that made her who she is today. So I hope that it can help somebody else. Um, so let's get into these snacks though. I got Shirley cookies. Yeah, made in Barbados. You already know. My favorite. These are the original ones. Okay. I gotta pose with my thumbnail. Wait, I gotta get the Christmas one. Yeah, the holiday. Bigfoot. I think that was long enough. So I got that. Then I got this rum cake, Jamaican. Yeah. Period. And I got the original spicy Bigfoot. So I don't know how I want to do this first. Bro, I feel like I should eat this and then start talking. Let's do it. Let's do it. Come on, man. Nah, it's not opening. Oh, okay. Yeah. Period. This is what they look like. Mm. Yeah. Good. Anyway, so from my list, as I'm munching, one thing that made Rihanna stand out is her relatability and her authenticity. Um, she came from a place that most of us did not grow up, right? I didn't grow up there. I grew up in America, unfortunately. But I have a bloodline from there, so kind of understand. With her being from the West Indies and coming here, we had to have a connecting point with her. I think her point was that she's just a human that, wants to be happy. She wants to have, people around her who really love her for who she is. Um, she is was never afraid to be vulnerable, be honest about things that affected her, but she was always one to show how she dealt with the situations that she went through. And for a lot of us, that was very inspiring. We felt like we were being seen. being seen. Sorry, y'all. I gotta pause. Hold on. Okay, I've collected myself. I don't know that spice. I have a lot of water today, so it was taking me out. Woo, child. Anyway, so um, some key things that I kind of highlighted from her career. She just presented herself, every version of herself. You know, she didn't hide anything. She was very open and connected to the public. I think one thing that's important is you have to showcase who you really are, your likes and your dislikes, the things that you wish you knew, the things that you do know, um, and just don't try to be mysterious because honestly, it's not going to get you anywhere, especially if you're just starting out. People want to know who they're listening to. The number one key to being great at anything and connecting to people is telling your story. And I think that's important. Figure out what your story is. What is the thing that motivated you to be creative? When was the first moment that you knew you had to get? Um, what keeps you connected to being creative every day of your life? What are some struggles behind that? How do you overcome them? When you get to that point of understanding those things, people will support you. Um, Rihanna also, after she, started becoming well known, she connected with her fans. Like I said, I was Rihanna Navy. I actually had my own personal experience with her a couple of times. I feel a lot of times. She's a really, really kind person. She allowed for us to be able to get to know her heart, and she easily cared about the things we had going on in our lives, like if we were doing well in college or how our family was doing. How can she support a cause that impacted our people? It was a ton of fans that weren't from America. That was a connecting point. They were all immigrants who were here in America. So, you know, she could connect with them about those experiences and just being able to, share compassion and having fun with us. That was something that she did when I was a kid. She's not the same Rihanna that I knew, but she wouldn't be the Rihanna she is today had she never taken that chance to connect with all of us, right? Um, you can go back and ask anybody. The fan bases like Rihanna Navy and the Beehive and the Barbs, they all connect and have, some people have that unhealthy parasocial connection, while others just have a genuine connection with these people. And for me, I think a connecting point for me and Rihanna was the fact that, we cared about people a lot. That was something that she saw in me and she really encouraged and she cherished, and I cherished equally about her. Also, another thing was, being able to take risks and try new things. Um, like I said, I came from a similar background where our families don't really think right off top. Okay, being creative, that's gonna pay your bills. Like, you have to believe in yourself and take risks. That was another thing. Her ability to just try things at least once to see how it worked out. That was something that encourage other people to feel like they could do the same thing, even if they just lived a average Joe life, you know. So if you're able to do those kinds of things in your career and as a person, people will find you and people will like you and people will relate to you. They remember how you make them feel. That's number one. That's the base of everything. Um, let's see what else. Um, to extend upon, the aspect of her having fun with everybody, she would take some of her biggest fans, like if she sees them a lot, a lot of fans try to go to the hotel and stuff where an artist is staying and whatnot. If she sees them enough, she would take them out to, dinner and invite them to like private events that she was having. And that was a way that she connected. You cannot be afraid to connect with your fans. Show appreciation. Share that these people are important to you. And you literally will be nowhere without these individuals. So just being able to have that compassion, be consistent, people will always think of that. And that is what continues your support and how far you go. Remaining true to who you are, being able to connect to others, and valuing that connection brings you so far in life. Whether it's in music or outside of music. So just remember that. Let's see. Another thing that she was really good at was marketing. Um, what I feel like I don't see enough of these days with new artists, especially underground, are the behind the scenes. Like, you need to be able to do behind the scenes of like how you go and record one of your biggest songs, or just your a day in the life of blah blah blah. Like, I'll give it to Laserdem. He does that. He vlogs. I like that. Um, let's see. You could do like um, what was it called? Like first access to behind the scenes photo shoot, da da da. Like when you're preparing for a new album or a movie or whatever it is that you're becoming a part of. You can definitely give people that in, and it makes them feel like they're special. It makes them feel like, okay, now they really are learning more about how you become that artist that you are every day. So definitely don't be afraid to do like behind the scenes, post content, have fun, be consistent with that type of stuff. Um, you can do promo runs, try to get on a podcast or go to a radio station, get them to play your song and talk about how you made it and who you are as a person. Interviews, being a part of projects, different things like that can definitely help your brand. It'll open the door for more opportunities. Um, let's see. You have to be able to broaden your creativity. Don't stay in one lane as far as like taking a risk. Like I was saying earlier, she wasn't afraid to take risk and try new things. Like she was an ambassador for what was that brand? River Island, which was a fashion brand. She was wearing their clothes on the runway, and then she eventually took on the cosmetics line, Mac Beauty, different stuff like that. And she was in movies and everything. So be able to find your connecting point with brands as well, so that you can broaden your creativity and see what else you're really good at, and maybe those things will also bring in a new audience for you. Um, let's see. Don't be afraid to collaborate with different artists. You can find more fans that way. That might be your introduction to for somebody. Um, please build anticipation for your releases. I'm trying to master it, but what I will say is like that's important. If I keep seeing like little teasers here and there and don't post the same video, post something new every day. Like think outside of the box. Like you can make a little trailer for your album. You could do like different scenes for that and then post it every week and by the time you lead up to that album, you have people that know that you're dropping. Hello? Like, you can't just be dropping an album and then expect people to, you know, stream and you become a sensation overnight and you haven't done anything but just put the songs out. That's not enough. You need to build a story around your releases. That's important. That's something that Rihanna did. You would see her commercials. She would do the brand advertisements. Like, what album came out? It was a Loud album. I specifically uh, would watch TV to see if she would come on during that era because I was waiting for the album to drop. As soon as she made an announcement on her website, she was on YouTube, she was on radio stations, all of that. Dyed her hair red, started a whole new look, was partnering with like skincare companies. What was that freaking uh Nivea, the lotion company? I remember her commercial and her song playing in the background. I remember her doing the Vita Coco. I have a core memory about that. I remember her doing the Vita Coco commercial, and I'm like, yo, I gotta go try this because I seen her drink it. A kid, right? But even people that were older than me were, being a part of that. And it was like, is something new happening? Like, when is this album dropping? Because I'm seeing her everywhere. Catch me, I'm saying everywhere. So that means you gotta be able to make yourself so omnipresent that people want to know what you're up to. You have to. Like, for instance, I did a festival last weekend. Everybody walking up to me, yo, I've been seeing you everywhere. Because I'm posting or I'm trying something new. Granted, I have a lot of growth to, develop within my own career, but I'm just giving real tips. Like, these things will really help you. Um, you can also offer, like, different things for your biggest fans, right? Like, if you have, just say you have 10 real supporters that tune into everything that you do. They're always the first people to listen to your song. They're always the first person to post. Give them something special that will be memorable for them. Like, let's say you're coming out with a signed CD. First 10 signed CDs to your biggest artist supporter. Um, and they'll be able to, say, hey, I got this thing. I got this first. And you need to get this too. You got to be able to think about that. These are, fundamental ways to market yourself. And my last thing is consistency. I have not eaten another chip because I started choking. I'm trying to talk. It's good though. You should go get them. Jesus. Um, you gotta find your own style. Developing your own style in your art is important. The more consistent you are, the more you're likely to build a sound, an image, whatever uh, you will, So it's important to do that because nowadays you will hear half of the pop girls try to sound like Rihanna. But when Rihanna was doing her music thing, nobody else sounded like her. You could hear her voice on a song, or you could hear even just an instrumental and be like, oh, that's a Rihanna song about to come on. You gotta be able to do that, man. Okay? Build your own style. And the way you get there, you don't have to stay stuck. The key is don't get stuck in the way that you express. Don't use the same exact cadence every single time, but have a way where your presence is recognizable. Um, you know, as people would say, a poor example of that is the baby, right? They'll say he has the same cadence on every song or whatever, the same type of beat on every song. So, no disrespect to him. I'm just giving an example of what I've heard people say. Just in general, if you don't want to get stuck there, be able to be fluid with your style. Be you. Don't try to be anybody else. But always move from, wherever you're going in life. We all grow, so grow with your creativity as well. Um, Being teachable was a core thing of Rihanna's, um, artistry. I would watch the behind the scenes and I would see like even her vocal instructor would tell her to do things a certain way. She didn't go against them. They tell her, hey, this would be good for your marketing. She didn't go against them. She gave it a try, right? She was listening. She cared about the information that she was being given. She cared about the way that her experiences would go. She wanted it to be authentic and smooth. So, being able to be teachable is really important. You're not always right about everything, and you don't know everything. You learn by experience. That's the best way. So, be teachable. Like I said, being willing to trust other people's ideas and being able to collaborate. Like, she was on so many songs back in the day, and I'm like, dang, like she's going on a run. And these are people you would never expect her to make a song with. Like, one of her biggest songs is Live Your Life by T.I., right? Imagine had they never took a chance to trust each other and creativity, that song probably wouldn't be as big as it is. Let me see, what's another song? Umbrella, right? Has she never trusted the dream with his writing creativity, his skills, she probably would not be the superstar she is at that. She wouldn't have been at that time that she was. That was her breakout. That was like Ponder Replay was a song that got her name places, but Umbrella was the song that made her a superstar. Point blank. She trusted every single collaborator that she worked with, and that's why you have different eras of Rihanna, right? It's not the same, it's the same person, but it's not the same side of her. These people were able to bring out her real life experiences. Another example, Work. It was not written by her. It was written by Party Next Door. And when you go back and watch an interview on how he made that song, he said he called her, had a conversation with her about her life experiences, said, bet, wrote a song about it. You have to be able to let people in. You can't just stay one way forever. So if you're collecting what I'm saying, be consistent, be real, and be willing to grow. Point blank. Uh, Studying was another key. She wasn't from here. So when she got here, first thing she did was dive straight into American music, specifically like rock, pop, alternative music. She learned the people that we listen to. There was a ton of people, and even before that, when she was in Barbados as a teenager, she would listen to Mariah Carey. She would listen to Celine Dion. Um, who else? Madonna. These are people that she studied. You can't find your passion. You sometimes you unlock your true passion by studying the things around you. You gotta put the work in. So it's not just getting on stage and having a I'm so cool or making a song and thinking it's the best shit ever. Like you gotta study how the people that came before you, your predecessors, did everything. If you, for instance, want to be the best rapper out of the South, a trap artist, right? You gotta listen to people like Gucci Mane, T.I., Waka Flocka, um, Lil Flip, people like that. So you gotta understand what things were to understand where you are now and how you can take both aspects and make it something in the future that's innovative and new. So I hope that you can, accept that. There's something that she really wanted to do. Like for instance, right? Um, her song "Bitch Better Have My Money." She posted a whole behind the scenes of that song. That's one of her biggest songs right now to date. A song that doesn't even sound like something she would make, right? A young lady, I think her name was BB. She wrote that song, presented it to Rihanna. Rihanna trusted her artistry, but she had to understand the origin. In that same behind the scenes video, she's watching, I think it was like a comedy, and one of the actors is a pimp, and he has this aura. She's learning the aura so she knows what to bring to the song. She's learning what's there, but making it her own. This is what we need to do as artists, as creators. You can be a painter, you can be a poet, you can be a dancer, you can be anything. You are not gonna grow if you don't study. Okay? That's it. And my last point, you have to be able to transform. People don't even have eras anymore. They just be dropping music, same stuff, no real effort, rarely doing interviews, rarely trying to figure out who they are in that moment. They're just making the same cookie cutter things. Like, Rihanna had, different hairstyles. Look, I'm gonna just eat y'all up with this real quick. Different hairstyles, makeup, clothing, music, videos. Who was being brave enough to be like a rough cut baddie like her? The whole bad girl Riri era on Instagram that all the girls wanted to follow. This is how. Look, just listen to me. This is how you got India Love, Jada Waiter, Ari Fletcher, all of them, and them, showing their style, who they are, and being like a baddie, IG baddie. Rihanna did it first. Not saying other people didn't post, but she was so raw, uncut, so real. She was different that everybody wanted to do that. Everybody wanted to be the next thing. You gotta be able to transform. Another example. Every era she had a different hairstyle, different makeup, different sound, right? During the unapologetic era, chopped her whole hair off, had the pixie cut. How many girls you know had the pixie cut? In that same era, shaved side of her hair, all the rest was long. You seen her and Cassie with the hairstyle. Every girl at school had that hairstyle. Every girl in high school or college, I can bet you just ask one person from the same year that you graduated, did you ever see somebody like that? They're gonna say yes. I literally was on a school bus with a girl that had the same hairstyle. Crazy. Crazy work, right? Is that influential? Another example, the red hair. Like, red solo cup hair, okay? Everybody, even the guys, even the gays, they were dyeing their hair red to look like her. It was a thing for from 2010 to 12, low key, early 2012. And so she did the next thing. She was the image, bro. She was the muse for everybody. Everybody. Another example, she did the chop size and the long hair for rated R. Um, every gay guy I can think of had their hair like that. Dyed it blonde, did the highlights and everything. And now I'm not gonna lie, you see some like some white guys, some Latino guys, their hair kind of looks the same. Like, it's just, I'm not saying they're copying her, but it was a thing. I remember, my mom had the Rihanna cut back during, what era was that? The Good Girl Gone Bad era? She had yeah, everybody had that. They had the bob. They had the bob. So this is what I'm saying. Like, you can influence people in the right ways if you just figure out who you are in the moment and figure out how you can communicate that individual, that emotion, that mental state, and take risk and just see what feels natural and beautiful and wholehearted to you. That's how you become one of the greatest. And I'm telling you that as facts. So this is how you can build your career, just going based off of what Rihanna had. Um, yeah. Sorry I ain't tried the other snacks. I'm about to go eat them, but I hope this was helpful for somebody, and I hope that y'all actually hear this video. And yeah, tune in for more. Peace.